It is the Riot Day 2 podcast, Worst of the Riot for 2021. So what is the month time frame on this one, Isaiah?
This is July.
Yeah.
Is this when you joined the show
This
yet?
is arguably one of the greatest shows
Oh, yeah?
of the year. I joined.
Isaiah
There you are.
joined, but he didn't, he wasn't on the show for a tiny bit in the beginning, but he was here. But it really was, between you and Isaiah joining was the bigger moments of the year.
So do you remember what we talked about with you at your first show?
It was an eventful day.
Yeah?
That is when I brought the
don't
police.
remember. What?
I brought the police.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was a big
Set
day.
off the alarm.
Yeah. So
Everyone
That's
does that.
right.
It was a very eventful day on my first day.
'Cause
Yeah.
I can't recall if we talked about it, but here there is an actual policy. If you set off the alarm, the first time is free, meaning the cops, the security company, doesn't charge you. But if you set off the alarm after the first time, you as the employee get charged because it's like $100 or something.
Oh, man.
So if the cops have to come out again and you didn't learn your lesson the first time, you have to pay for it.
What is the statute of limitations?
It's just within your first time as an employee. I mean, if you're setting the alarm off now, then
I have to pay.
well, no, why would you set off the alarm?
What is hopefully
wrong
something
with
went
you?
wrong because we type it in every day.
Yeah.
We shouldn't set off the alarm now.
We shouldn't. But what if? So I won't.
It's
do it.
really just new employees.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay that.
No, I
Yes.
don't. Unless it was going to be a really good story.
No, it's not.
Great content for the air.
Yeah.
I'll bring them.
Right. It's
I'll
worth
pay
the $100.
Cops come, they don't trust you. Or actually, a lot of the cops in our area, they're nice. A lot of them listen. So maybe it's not them charging us.
but
It's a security
They
company.
bring the dogs, and the dogs don't know. So
Yeah, they do. They smell your dog on you. They're like,
Yeah.
he's a friend.
Yeah, he's a good guy. So yeah, we talked about that. We also had a Mike Maines interview as well.
Oh, yay.
And then we did an Olympic Oreos food fight.
Nice.
And then we made our way over to Nikki revealing her new cat's
Oh,
name.
yeah. I got my
man.
new cat then.
Yes.
Aw, and then we also interviewed the protest, which our first time having the guys
that
in.
was so nice talking to the protest.
They're great guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
No cops called on them.
No.
We pay the fine. They're so
Yes.
nice.
Well, it sounds
Enjoy
like we had an
your-
eventful July.
Your
Yes.
second day of our Worst of Riot from 2021 for our podcast.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy dandy fast forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
It is the Riot. Good morning. Welcome in with not just Nikki and I, but our special guest, friend of the show. Although it's the first time I'm getting to talk to him, it is Mike Maines.
Yay!
From Mike Maines and the Branches, of course.
Good morning.
Good morning, y'all.
So are you you said Kansas? You're in some hotel room?
Some hotel room in Wichita, Kansas with a beautiful painted window here that I'm staring out of.
Well, may I suggest everybody hop on to RadioU Riot real quick on our Facebook page, because when I first saw it, I thought there was a window next to you,
Yeah.
but you're saying that's just painted? There's no real one?
No real window.
Are you in
no
a
real window?
Are you in a basement? Is that why they had to do that?
Even stranger, we're on the second floor, and I thought, we're on the second floor. Why? They must have really had to cut costs back.
Oh
You
my
know what?
gosh.
Mike, what you got to find out is you got to go around to the hotel, because what is on the other wall must be so bad
Yeah.
that there's no window for you to even get. What's back there? You need to find out.
So what has you in Wichita, Kansas in the first place?
So we are driving back. Shannon and I took a vacation, and we're kind of taking a road trip back home through Wichita, go to Memphis, and then we'll be home by Tuesday.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
kind
Nice.
of doing some pit stops. We're going to go to Oklahoma City today. We were on tour there a couple of weeks ago, and we had a day off, and we thought, how is Oklahoma City so cool? No shade at Oklahoma City. We just didn't realize. We had no idea. It was it had this Austin, Texas feel to it, which was very artistic, a little bit of grit, and we thought, okay, this is our spot, you know. So we're gonna stop through there. I think we're going to the zoo later today. So I'm gonna see about a grizzly bear.
Actually, there's no real zoo. It's just all painted on walls there, too. So you're just going to be disappointed. You're not getting that. Well, we're
I want
talking
to definitely get my money back.
I know. We're talking to Mike from Mike Mains and the Branches. So for when you go out to tour, because you guys tour so often, I mean, getting back into it, but do you ever go to a city and you're like, oh, I want to go back and actually visit here on a vacation? Because it is so neat, because you only get to see so much when you're playing a show at night.
Absolutely. One of the cities that we really want to go back to is Portland, Oregon. That's a city I get to take in a little more of the city than the rest of our bandmates, because I really enjoy running on tour. So we'll load in, sound check, and I'll throw my running shoes on and run around the city. So that's a nice way to take a little bit more in. But you're absolutely right. It's difficult. You're working. So Portland's a place we'd really love to get back to. I'd love to get back to Austin again, and then Oklahoma City this trip, just because it was such a surprise. Again, everyone in Oklahoma City is going to hate me for saying that. But, it was really, really cool.
Well, make sure you listen or looking around, Oklahoma City listeners, for Radio U to see Mike running around.
Yeah, you're going to find people spotting you at the zoo now.
Yeah,
they're going to come not to see the animals. They're going to try to catch you guys.
Well, for Mike Mains and the Branches, coming back for Radio U Ohio listeners, it has been too long, but Mike Mains will be coming back on August 20th to Columbus. So if people want details on that, definitely check out RadioU.com. Is it weird to be back to finally playing shows and traveling and getting back out on the road?
It's been insane. We just finished this backyard tour, and then Switchfoot asked us to play a show with them last weekend, which was absolutely crazy. So we jumped on a plane and did that, and it was just a complete whirlwind. And in doing that and talking with John and those guys, and it feels like everyone is in this headspace of, we kind of can't believe that we're playing shows. It feels like a dream. And because of, the way that everything happened during the beginning of the pandemic, we're sort of waiting for the shoe to drop, but also just really glad to be playing.
Yeah.
And I picked up that from those guys, just this re-energized love for playing live. And for us, we just feel deeply grateful that people still want to come to shows and experience it. I think we've all just been a little cooped up for too long.
Yeah. Got to get back out there. Well, I was talking to someone. They were like, oh, well, then it must be so nice for bands to just have a break. But with how long that break was, I don't think people realize that, bands, that's the life. That's that touring. That's getting out and connecting with fans. And they thought it was nice to have such a long break. But I think for bands, like, you have to get back out there and do that to connect with people and play the music. And that was going on longer than everybody kind of thought it would. So it's just so nice to see everybody doing shows again.
Yeah, I'm grateful, and like you said, Nikki, I mean, for us, that the part where we're able to connect, to share our songs and talk about where the songs came from and meet people during the show, those are easy ways to kind of measure your impact, which, I guess I realized that maybe one of the reasons that I got into this business is I need affirmation.
DJs are no different.
Yeah, we're right there with you.
So it's just good to know that you're making an impact. It's easy to get pretty introspective and in your head, especially the way that it's been for us all the last 15 months or so.
So you've got the show coming up in Columbus. That's on August 20th. And what other plans do you have going forward, or is everything just kind of out in the open, or are you flying in the wind?
More trips to the zoo,
Yeah,
or
right.
just more vacations or any other shows?
You can find me at this window staring out at the birds.
But nobody will be able to see in. So
I still love that window.
We're finishing up our we're finishing up our next album, and that'll be done in the end of August. We're probably going to be releasing a new single before the end of the year, which I'm extremely excited about. And then everyone can expect a new album from us by probably spring of 2022.
There we go.
Well, for Mike Mains and the Branches, we say this every time we talk with them, and Shannon as well. Just amazing in concert. Like, they just bring so much to their songs, and then when you get a chance to see them in person. So for Radio U Ohio, don't forget that show's on August 20th. For Oklahoma City, don't forget the zoo. Don't forget all the chances to see Mike Mains and the Branches. And then we are super excited about hearing new music too. We cannot wait. So
Thank y'all
hopefully,
so much.
yeah. So hopefully we'll have a chance to hear that soon.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So we're ready to try some Oreos
Yes.
in honor of the Olympics. This is really all we could find. We're doing the red, white, and blue layers of cream with popping candy from Oreos.
Yep,
And then
this
we're
is-
also trying the caramel, the chocolate brownie
Yes,
ones.
I have those right here.
Those look good.
If you're watching the video.
Salted caramel brownie Oreos, which I think is a limited flavor. or
Yes.
just- that's the new one to try.
That's the first new flavor they've done in a while. And for the Olympic Oreos, I feel that with all the Olympic promotions that have been canceled, this is one of the only things that, that
can
you can
find?
actually get that's Olympic themed.
Okay, now you ready for this though? I don't know why, but okay, look at the packaging and what does it show you like for the Oreo? See how it says red, white, and blue? Uh-huh. Look at your Oreo and tell me what you notice.
Blue is noticeably absent in my Oreos. Is that what you're talking about?
Can you look at the entire like pans of Oreos over here and tell me also what's missing?
So what? They just
There's no blue
totally
icing.
skip. Oh, no, it's in there
Is
if you
it in
peel it
there?
apart.
It's very,
Yeah,
very
that's
small.
a thin layer. For some reason, they skimped on the blue.
So like
That's
on the
weird.
packaging, the blue is overflowing and you see it like within the white and the red.
Yeah, and it looks very
But-
like they're all uniform.
yeah, but not in this case. So you're right. It is there, but you can't see
But
it at all.
literally the whole package looks like it's just red and white.
Just red and white
All right,
Oreos.
so that one first.
So this one has supposedly popping candies in it for you to try.
And it says Team USA.
Maybe the blue is the popping part. That's why it's not so much. Do you have any popping? Oh wait, there was one.
I think I'm getting it. Can you hear it?
Kinda.
I just
think
hear me chewing.
I'm just looking. I'm trying to hear it. Oh wait, there it is. Did you
Oh.
catch it? Did you hear it?
I heard it.
I don't feel it, but
No.
I think it's there.
We've had other popping
bet
candy
you-
Oreos that have had more pop in them.
I really do bet you that blue layer is the popping candy
Maybe.
part.
Once you actually chew through the Oreo, you get like a couple sparse pops.
Yeah, every so often.
Like just spread out.
So a lot like this Olympics. This is very disappointing.
I mean, they taste okay.
Yeah, they're not bad. It's
Do you
just a
think-
normal taste.
Do you think they taste a little old? Like a little stale? Like they were made for the last for when the Olympics were supposed to happen?
Were they for last summer?
Yeah, and they just kept them all this long.
I don't know. They did. They said that was kind of the problem with, what was it, the Lady Gaga Oreos? That a lot of those were stale because they pushed
yeah?
those back. I really get very little popping.
All right, here's an idea.
What? You just gonna lick the blue part
I'm going to take the cream out only.
and just take that part and see? Thanks for trying.
Yeah.
You're trying to get it
You
to
know,
work.
I'm going to give Oreo a fair chance.
Yeah. Every so often you'll get a little tiny crackle like in the
Yeah,
back
it's
of your
really
throat. but
very
that's
hardly
it.
anything.
Well, let's try the other one. So your other Riot Food Fight item is the salted caramel brownie
Ooh, look.
Oreos.
They have salt on them.
They
Look at
actually
that.
smell pretty good. It's got like a brownie and a caramel inside the chocolate cookie, and then a light layer of salt on the top.
I'm getting a little more of the pop now from the
Oh, in
cream
the back,
that I ate. Yeah.
Well, I think we have to move on from those. I don't think those are going to give us any more. Well, when you put your tongue, when you taste the salt part, that's weird. That is very weird. Oh, salty. What do you think? The salt is so odd. Very, very odd. Very
It's like
salty.
and it's very very chocolatey.
You think it's too salty? That's so
I don't know.
strange. I feel like we're not supposed to salt our Oreos, and so it just goes really against what we're used to doing.
You know what? At the end of the day, I think I like it.
You like it better than the
I
other
think
one?
it's pretty good.
Gosh, the salt is strange. It's like when you get a pretzel and you have to brush all the salt off, like if they put too much on it. But the flavor's good. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of salt to
It's
it.
a lot of. Okay, we got to do the same thing with this one. How does the cream taste on its own?
Man, I just wish I miss regular Oreos, don't you?
Yeah,
We haven't had those in a while.
or like a really good flavor of an Oreo.
The mega
Ooh,
ones, the big ones.
the birthday cake.
Yeah, the insides, it's good of the salted caramel brownie ones. It's just the outside. If you don't like the salted part, then I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to like
It's
this.
actually surprisingly, I don't get a lot of the caramel flavor. It's really kind of
Brownie?
like like the double chocolate Oreos, and then you got the salt on it. So it's pretty good, though. I give that one gets a silver medal, and the other one gets a bronze.
Made from recycled electronics.
Yes, recycled Oreos from last
I feel like
year.
they're both just a little disappointing. I know there'll be another fall flavor coming out, but the salted caramel brownie one, it's just that and the Olympic one. They're not the best ones we've had.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about the Riot for free? Radio U.
It's no secret that a lot of restaurants, particularly fast food restaurants, and just a lot of industries in general, especially if they're like lower on the wage spectrum, having a hard time getting employees to come to work, having a hard time hiring people.
They are, which I said before, and I'll say it again because I read this article about it. If you were willing to go into a place and go work, you could make management so fast.
Yeah.
Way like when this starts turning and changing, eventually this will. It always goes like this. But this will go back to where it could be hard to find a job or you got to start at the bottom.
It'll get there.
If you worked hard at the bottom now, because they need anybody, you could run the show.
You'll already have a leg up.
You could totally be like making so much money as management if you just, tried right now. But I throw that out there in case anybody's like, but I don't want to do this. Well, you don't have to. They'll sign you on as manager.
Yeah.
You could start big.
As somebody who's worked in food service, and this isn't really like a slight, I'm sure a lot of the managers I worked with would say this also. You don't have to be that smart to be a manager.
Exactly. They'll take anybody.
Yeah.
I'm talking like you could be a franchise owner pretty soon if you just started now.
Work your way up. You'll be running the show for
but
sure.
They're having so many problems just finding anybody doing anything.
Well, and so this is what's happening with White Castle, where they've admitted they have sent out, or they've been reaching out to past applicants. They've sent out like 550,000 where they've reached out to different applicants recently.
Oh, to people who tried to apply but didn't get hired before?
Yeah, or maybe never even got contacted in the first place. And they've been contacting people that have applied as far back as 2017.
Whoa.
So you could have applied to White Castle in 2017, 4 years ago.
And they didn't think you were good enough then.
I know, that's the sad part.
They didn't hire you.
You weren't good enough for White Castle the first time, which I'm sad to say. When I got started working, I definitely applied to several places where they didn't
take you?
They didn't even call me back or anything. And I'm not talking like radio. I mean in fast food and stuff, which is that's pretty sad when you're reaching out to Taco Bell and they don't even get back to you. But
so now if you did and you never heard from them, if it was back to even 2017, it's not just White Castle. There's a lot of places that are going back a few years.
Cheesecake Factory specifically, there was a story where they reached out to someone who had applied 2 years ago. They're working at a law firm now, so I don't think they're interested.
If you were the Cheesecake Factory person, so like, are you not wanting to come work at the factory? You don't want to?
Well, you've got free food.
So if you applied to a place years and years and years ago, don't be surprised if you hear from that place because they're trying to find people to work and they're doing anything.
Yeah, I told Nikki, I get phone calls, and I'm sure we all do all the time, from these random numbers. You don't know what they are, but sometimes they're local numbers. It's just like you don't know who it is, and they don't leave a message or anything. And I always assume that's a robocall for some spam or whatever.
It's not a Cheesecake Factory.
What if it's all these White Castles and they're calling me? I don't even remember applying to White Castle years ago.
I know you worked at Panera. They want you back.
They want me. Oh, they would make me manager. That's for sure.
Instant.
Yeah, I just think it is funny. They say for White Castle, about 32,000 people have actually expressed interest of the 550,000 that they reached out to. I wonder how many of those are from 4 years ago.
It's a good question.
If you applied 4 years ago and you're still interested.
Well, maybe
you haven't had a good 4 years.
But maybe you're working at a place where you can get more money then.
Yeah.
So if they're providing an attractive
it's
option,
fast food. You're not making more money.
You don't know. Maybe the White Castle, it's a castle. There's money in castles.
Maybe White Castle, you wound up working at Crystal Burgers instead. And so they like your experience. And now you're going to make you a manager for White Castle.
The Riot promise is that they'll always have an opinion on everything they talk about. But that doesn't mean any of their opinions will make sense. This is The Riot on Radio U.
It is a special morning on the riot.
Bye, guys. See you later. No.
Nikki and I, it's going to be a lot easier for us to phone it in because
Since Isaiah's here.
we brought in a new producer to the show. So we're introducing to you Isaia.
Good morning.
Good morning,
everybody.
Isaiah.
Welcome.
Isaiah, we alluded to it last week. He's been here for a few days, getting his feet wet, getting ready to go. And now, today, we finally get to know, well, I mean, we know him, but you get to know him a little bit more because he's actually allowed to talk.
You are. Good morning, Isaiah.
For the first time ever, they're actually allowing me to actually do something on air, which is an exciting day.
Yeah, it's huge.
You've been planning so much. You're like, no, but no one else can hear it.
They've been feeling me out for an entire week. They're like, can we let him on air? I don't know for sure.
Well, he's going to be handling some news starting tomorrow, and you'll hear him throughout the show as he helps make the Riot a better show.
Yeah, so we'll be bringing him in, obviously routinely from here on out. But this morning, if you want to ask any questions to get to know Isaiah,
just to
who
say
is this
hi.
guy
That'd be
that's
good.
invading the morning show? 8772 RadioU, text in. But we'll start with yesterday. It's a surprise that we're even letting Isaiah on the air.
Of course.
Because of his first day yesterday?
Because
How that went?
yesterday, it was the first day he got here
goodness.
first to the building.
Who else did you bring with you yesterday morning?
Who else did I bring with me?
Yeah, you brought two people. They were out-
I brought the police yesterday. I knew this would come up. I knew I wouldn't live this down,
Yeah.
of course.
Well, the police said they wanted to be included in the show, too.
Yeah, of course.
Well, when Isaiah came in, we have, security systems here.
Yeah.
And, there was a mishap. And the police
Slight
came.
mishap.
And they were all very nice, and you didn't get in trouble. Because the first time Hudson got in trouble, because everybody who starts here RadioU sets the alarms off.
Yep.
You have to tell them about your Maryland driver's license.
Oh, yeah. When I didn't tell you about this, but it happened to me, similar to what happened to you. I was leaving the building, or somebody set the alarm, and I didn't know it while I was still here, something like that. I don't remember why I was having issues, but either way, I set off the alarm. I didn't get to the phone in time to tell them that it's just a false alarm. Don't worry about it. So the police show up.
And they never believe you when they show up.
No, they never do. And so they show up, and they had a dog with them and stuff.
Oh, no.
And
It's a whole scene.
and so they were like patient with me and everything, but I give them my driver's license, and I had just moved. Like, I hadn't moved a week ago, but I had moved within the last couple months. And so I still had an old driver's license from when I was in Maryland.
From not this state.
Yeah, from a different state. And so the police is giving me a hard time. Is like, you really got to get this changed. What? Like, you need to go out and get this changed. And I'm like, man, it costs money to get it changed. Also, I don't even have like a real permanent address here yet. So can we hold off?
No, he's going to drive you over there.
Yeah, really. Yeah. That's what I thought was going to happen. So that was you got off easy. You didn't even have to interact with them.
Yeah, I was kind of worried that I would have to go up there and like face, the music and talk to the police, and they get to like scold me about everything that happened. But thankfully Nikki was out there, so I just hid. I hid in the studio with Hudson for as long as possible.
Well, I had to laugh too, because then the police officers, it's almost like they're just making sure, because they're like, yeah, what happened? To see if I give the same story. Well, he's new. It's Isaiah. He's a part of the riot, and he set off the alarm, and I'm very sorry. And they're like, okay, it checks out.
If it was a movie, Isaiah would totally, like, we wouldn't get here in time.
No.
And Isaiah would
He'd
try
be
to
in
make
jail.
up, he would make up some story to the police. Where,
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, I totally work here. But it would be the thing where the police could tell, they would think he's lying.
Yeah.
He doesn't work here. He would say it in the way like, yeah, it's, and he looks at the U on the building. RadioU. Yeah.
I'm not here to steal things. But we always have to be careful, because the first police visit is free, but no joke, like any police visit after does cost us money. So everybody always gets in trouble. So your first one's on the house.
Now we're going to have some vindictive listener is going to come by and like set off the alarm.
Yeah. Oh no. Well, make sure you text and say hi to Isaiah as he joins the riot.
Yes.
And you'll start hearing him more and more tomorrow. But you just text 877 to RadioU and ask any questions or just say hi to him.
Yeah. Good to have you on the show, Isaiah.
Good to be
We're
with
looking
you
forward
guys.
to it.
Yay.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
He seems different today.
Well, I think we're already taking a toll on him.
I'm hurting a little bit this morning.
Yeah.
I woke up after what feels like a grind of a week.
Yeah.
Been waking up a lot earlier.
It's not even Friday yet, by the way.
Exactly. But I was feeling really tired this morning, so I did something I never do.
Yeah.
I got a cup of coffee.
Where's your Gatorade at?
I have my Gatorade.
Okay, because he always has a Gatorade each morning.
He gets the Gatorade chaser, I think, today.
Yeah, I get the Gatorade. Yeah, literally. But I woke up this morning feeling extra tired, so I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. Even though I'm a part of the huge minority that doesn't drink coffee at all.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I go to the Tim Hortons drive-thru. I said, I'm going to do it. The only coffee I can do, though, is like a French vanilla cappuccino.
Okay.
Oh.
So I order it in the drive-thru.
That's like how I used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you'll get converted.
So I order it in the drive-thru, and I pull up to the window, and I'm waiting there for like an abnormally long time.
Yeah.
And she comes over to me and says, there's no French vanilla cappuccino right now.
Oh, no.
And the worst part was, I would have been fine just driving away.
Yeah.
But she was like, do you have another option? And of course,
You should have just said no and sped off.
I couldn't even name another thing on the menu
Because it's just not in your wheelhouse.
at all. So I
How
asked
about,
her,
how about instead of a coffee, can I have a donut?
No, I think that's cheaper.
how about just a big glass of milk this morning? Oh man.
Gosh,
Just
you
a
got a lot
glass
of
of
beverage
milk.
growing.
Yeah, but I say, what would you suggest?
Uh-huh.
And so she leads off with like some ice cold brew. I don't even know. And I was like, do you have something that's like
The most
hot?
expensive thing on the menu.
Exactly. And so she's like, do you have something that's hot? And I didn't have any idea. She's like, all right, we'll just do this. She doesn't even tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I take it. And I'm probably a tough person, like give a cup of coffee to him, like this might taste good. It probably tastes great. But for me, it
You
tastes
don't
terrible.
like it? Oh, no. Did you try pouring your Gatorade in it?
I didn't. I haven't done the mixture yet, but I'm trying to like force myself through it. But I can't complain because she gave it to me for free.
Oh, that's
There you go.
nice.
That's
She
a
was-
nice Tim Hortons you got there.
Exactly. She was worried I wasn't gonna like it because I was gonna pay, and then she was like, "No, you might not like it." And she was right.
Aw. Well, here we always like Chris is here too today. Chris made some wicked coffee yesterday, man. That was some tough stuff. So why don't we ask Chris or Hudson to make the lighter cookie coffee?
That'd be incredible.
So then that way it's just easier on your stomach
Yeah.
and it's just a little bit lighter of a taste.
You can do the Nikki route and take that coffee that you have, whatever it is, and go dump the entire thing of
That'll
Coffee
fix
Mate
it.
into it in the other room, and it'll just taste like it's pretty close to tasting like milk at that point.
Well, yeah,
right?
I don't want the coffee. I want the mate.
Yeah.
So you just start drinking that.
Give me the
Aw.
Coffee Mate.
Well, don't do when you come in, let's start getting you on the stuff we have here.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't mind some free Tim Hortons. So if you
Well,
want,
you got to go order wrong.
I
You got to
gotta
go pretend you don't know anything about
Yeah.
it when you go through. You're like, what's that?
You have to
Yeah.
get the pity. The pity is the way to go. This guy has no idea what he's doing.
Just start off your order going, I don't know anything about this,
Yeah.
but what would you
Hey,
suggest?
the thing I want you're out of, I don't know what it is, but I know you don't have it. Can you give me something for free?
If they keep talking long enough, they're bound to say something that you agree with. The Riot with Hudson and Nikki on RadioU.
Now, there's a question I've been meaning to ask Nikki. It keeps plaguing my mind, but I keep forgetting to ask it
Is
during
this
the show.
keeping you up at night?
It is, because on Monday, we talked about, and you can see the picture on the RadioU Riot Facebook page and on the RadioU Twitter. Nikki got a new cat.
I did. Over the weekend, I got a new kitten.
Yes, she went on a long
he's
road trip.
8 weeks old, 9 weeks
Oh,
old.
wow.
Yeah.
That's a kitten, all right.
It's tiny, a little fluff ball.
And we didn't know what she was going to name it. She was asking for names and stuff like that. And I haven't found out
What the
And
name is?
Everybody's dying to know what you wound up naming your new little kitty.
It's a ragdoll Himalayan. So
That's what it is.
He's very fluffy, and he's got like those really piercing blue eyes.
Yes.
So you guys came up with a lot of really amazing names. Normally, though, all my pets have like a dessert candy bar theme. But I was ready to branch out if needed.
Okay.
And I really liked, someone had said like kiwi. I was really up on like coconut. We were talking about blackberry.
Yeah.
Like fruits, apparently.
It kind of sounds like you're naming it like an Android
Something.
update.
An operating system
Yeah.
update. So there were a lot of good names that you guys came up with, but I landed on on a dessert name, and he is called Mochi.
Mochi.
Mochi, which is a Japanese dessert. A little glutinous thing. It's
what did you just call it?
Glutinous.
Glutinous. What is that?
I don't know
how to... the muscles in your butt?
I'm close. I mean, I guess. Now just think that you always add the best to everything, don't you?
Yeah,
You're such a talent. No, it's like you'll have to Google it. It's delicious, but it is not everybody's favorite.
Is that the ones that are like really colorful? Yeah, like powdery, is that what that is? That's what that is?
Yeah.
They have the big coolers of them in the grocery store, at my grocery store anyways, in the middle of like where all of the, it's right beside where all the produce is. And I look at it and I was like, who eats this stuff?
Yeah,
and I guess it's you.
That's it. They're usually, it's like sweet rice pounded into flour and then they steam it and it's got stuff in it.
And then it's cold? Is it like ice cream, served like ice cream, but not?
No, but you can get ice cream put in it.
Yeah.
But it's like
I think I've had that.
The wrapping
and
around
I hated it.
Okay, great. Great. Well, don't hate my cat.
No, I know. So wait, what do you call him for short? Is it going to be like Mo for short?
Oh,
or?
no, I'm going to yell Mochi.
Just Mochi?
Full Mochi.
Mochi.
That's right. Come on,
You get
Mochi.
in here.
Don't do that.
Get in here right now.
So far, he's been great. I mean, he's a tiny little cat, so I was just afraid. He'll get to be like normal cat size, but I was afraid I would lose him somewhere.
There is no normal.
Well,
every cat is normal.
Like 12 or 15 pounds.
Okay.
But right now he's super small.
Well, that's so sweet.
Yeah, so that's what we went with.
I think I'm glad to hear it. And I just wish you named it after a food that I liked. But that's okay.
Sorry.
It's your cat.
Every time you see my cat, you're just going to call it whatever you want. You're like, I'm not agreeing with that
I'm going to call it something I like. Actually, we had in my family a cat that he lived in, this is when I still lived in Maryland with my parents and whatever. He never had a real name, even though he lived in our house and everything, because everybody called him something different.
Aww.
I called him Nibbler.
Yeah.
Because of the pet in Futurama. For some reason, Futurama just keeps coming up.
That's the only show you like,
yeah,
isn't it?
It is. At least at that time, maybe. But other people, one of my brothers called him Carl.
Oh, your poor cat was like, why does everyone call me something different?
He had an identity crisis, I think. My dad called him Pepper. And nobody ever agreed. So
you don't have to.
Never had a name. He never had a real name.
Well, he did. He just had a bunch.
Exactly.
It's like when you have 2 or 3 middle names.
Yeah.
And your mom gets mad at you and uses them all.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
I just had an issue a few minutes ago, and I'm glad that I'm not crazy. I went to the bathroom.
I was worried.
I went to the bathroom here, and I thought, as soon as you walked in, you could smell a sweetness in the air. And I was like, do we have a new air freshener?
In the
Is
boys'
there a new
bathroom?
Yeah. Is there a new soap? And it took me a second, but I was able to place exactly what the smell smelled like to me, and that was Lucky Charms marshmallows.
So like cereal milk?
Yeah. Well, it was very sweet, and very distinct, and very sugary. And I thought, why does it smell like this in here? And I checked, and there was no candles. The air freshener is the same, and it was a different scent. The soap is the same it's always been.
I told him I was worried because with COVID, you lose your sense of smell. But it was like, what does he have if he smells
What
like
if
this?
I have a different disease that makes me smell Lucky Charms marshmallows? But then I asked Isaiah, I said, he had a coffee from Tim Hortons this morning.
Yeah.
And not very good coffee either.
Yeah. Well, exactly, because you dumped it down the toilet. Is that right?
See, I wanted to get rid of it in a stealthy way. Show a little character, make it look like I got all the way through it.
So is that why you didn't put it down the sink?
That's why I put it in the urinal. I was like, you know what? I'll just pour
urinal.
it. I put it down here, and no one will know. I'll throw it away. I'll come back and be like, oh my gosh, he powered through that coffee he was complaining about. He's showing
really
some good character.
Yeah.
But Hudson's nose a little bit too strong, I guess.
I'm on to you.
You can tell.
You cannot put anything past me. I'm going to find out about it, and we're going to talk about it on the show.
Had it been in the female restroom, it probably would have blended in a little better.
Yeah,
It's a
smells
good
nicer
smell.
theirs anyways.
But walking into the men's restroom and a sweet smell like that, 0% chance
You
that's
should have
natural.
sprayed the air freshener to cover it up, and then people would have just thought you had a really bad situation.
I don't think you want to draw attention to anything, but maybe you should just use the toilet, so then it just really would have gone down there.
Or the sink in the kitchen, because then it would have, in the kitchen it wouldn't have seemed so out of place. place. It'll be like, why does it smell sweet? Well, it could be the zebra cakes. It could be the oatmeal cream pies. It could be
Down the sink?
Yeah.
But in the men's bathroom, stuck out like a sore thumb.
It actually totally did.
Next time I see Isaiah just walk outside, he's just putting it in the mulch out front.
Yep.
Just putting it out there. Listen,
why are these plants growing so well?
I know you found like this miracle thing. I promise, Isaiah, he's not going to notice everything that you do. That's different.
I hope not.
Because so far he's caught on to everything.
I've caught on to a lot. But the sad thing is, this is where it really gets bad. Now that I know that it's your coffee and that you dumped it down the toilet, I was like, actually, that smells pretty good.
You would have drank it.
I think I should go get some from Tim Hortons. We talked before how we see stuff in the garbage that makes us want to eat.
Oh, no.
Don't say that out loud.
Oh,
again.
no.
Don't say that. It just makes you think, I want that for dinner tonight.
Now, taking it one step further, even worse. Smelling the urinal coffee made me really want to go get some coffee from Tim Hortons.
You need to go to Tim Hortons and say, there was a guy this morning, had no idea what he was doing. I want to get what he got.
Yeah, whatever it was that he got. He dumped it down the urinal just to let you know.
Don't need to share the whole story when you go through, okay?
I don't want to make the Tim Hortons barista feel bad.
You just want to make all of us awkward with it.
Yep.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've got a little situation here, Nikki.
What happened?
We're going to need to call someone.
What do we have to do?
Fix the urinal.
Is it in the boys' bathroom?
Yeah. Well, it's not in the women's.
Is something wrong? Is it where it doesn't stop running?
Yes,
Didn't you
it's
guys
doing
say
that. It's doing that again. The bathroom's going to be flooded.
The joke? Why doesn't someone catch it? Or
is your urinal running? Why doesn't someone go catch it?
Okay, well, I don't know much, but is there something like you're supposed to wiggle or, like,
well,
is
a
there
handle.
A button or something?
It's not the automatic kind anymore.
Do you turn the water off or something?
I've had to do that before. Yeah. You
is that like restarting it?
No, that's just turning it off.
Well, no, you like rebooting your computer.
Yeah.
Just turn the water off.
I think you turn in the past. I've had this happen where I was the only person in the building, and I loved making the phone call to Chris. Where it's, hey, Chris, I don't want the building to be flooded tomorrow.
Can it flood, or does it just sound like it's running the whole time?
It seems that it just keeps running, but it doesn't quite. The water filters through just fast enough that it doesn't leak out of the urinal too much. But
and then also you get would you get a really high water bill?
Probably, yeah. So, sorry, guys, we're going to have to extend the RadioU fundraiser because to pay for the urinal water situation.
So is this your way of telling Chris, who's probably right now driving into work?
He might be.
To let him know.
I just went right before we started talking, so I didn't have time to jiggle with it or anything.
Sure.
So I'm going to have to go take a look.
It. Come on, get a YouTube video on there.
Wait, we have a producer.
Don't
Isaiah.
ask Isaiah.
Come
I don't
on.
want to have that meeting after Isaiah. No one said he'd have to do that.
This is what he's here for, to deal with stuff. Our job is to talk, and his job is to deal. He's a fixer, is what Isaiah is. He takes care of the problem.
But that's a building problem.
Yeah.
That's not a show problem.
Well, it's a show problem if the building is flooded or if we can't go to the bathroom.
We're not going to be flooded out of this room. I think it's fine. We'll put sandbags out there.
That's what people say at the beginning of a problem, and then you don't heed the warnings, and then all of a sudden,
then we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, it's fine. The urinal will stop running eventually.
Now, Mike just texted in and says, "It's funny you say this. He was at Walmart a few days ago in the restroom, and they had a trash can under." I hate saying it, the urinal, because it was pouring out of it.
Oh no. And that was their idea?
That was it. That fixes it.
All right, I'll go get a trash can.
Get one and then
Ours
put it
is
under.
Pretty low to the ground. But then wait. What happens when the trash can starts overflowing? It doesn't have a drain?
No, you pour that into the toilet, and then you just flush the toilet, and problem solved.
That's a big... That's a lot of trouble for me to go through.
Well, do you want to fix the problem or not, Hudson?
I would like Isaiah to go do all of this.
Are you delegating? Is that the sign of a good leader?
We still have to be here to talk, so...
I can excuse you for a moment if you need to go flush.
But if I have to continually dump the urinal trash can into the toilet, then I'm going to be gone for a while.
Hudson, first off, it doesn't seem like you really want to fix this. You just want to talk about it.
It is good content, isn't it?
You're talking, you're not fixing. Second, it's not gushing out. Like, how often would
We
you
don't
have
know.
to?
I just flushed shortly before we started.
Oh, gosh, what if it's
I could go
Get
back
in
in
there.
there as soon as I'm done talking here, and it might be everywhere.
Okay, well,
it might be.
Hey, guess what? I'll let you go right now.
Okay, all right. Gonna
get
go do a
Isaiah and
urinal
you both go in
inspection.
there.
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
A man in Bakersfield, California, ate Chick-fil-A. How many consecutive days do you think you could do it?
Oh, you would keep eating it every day?
Yeah.
I don't know. 5 years.
5? Oh, no,
too
not
much?
that. Not that long.
Okay, not that
He
long.
did 153 consecutive days.
Oh,
So that's
Chick-fil-A for
like-
raising money.
Yeah, that's about 5 months worth of Chick-fil-A every single day.
Why would he stop at 153? Can't we
that is an odd number, isn't
Can you
it?
just go to 160? That really bothers me, man.
Well, let's see. I guess the previous record might have been 132 days in a row.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to beat that, of course. And then he was doing $100 a day for every day he ate at Chick-fil-A. He was donating also to Victory Family Services. So he wound up donating $15,300.
It's
Maybe that's
cool.
all he could possibly donate.
He was sitting at a Chick-fil-A in Bakersfield. He had what he calls a light bulb moment. He was eating a salad with some friends. He saw a news article on a person in Pennsylvania who ate Chick-fil-A for 132 days. And then he was the one who beat out a San Diego man
Yeah.
who ate for 115 days.
Man, it's
and
a
he
whole-
thought, I want to attempt this.
A whole Chick-fil-A chain.
Apparently.
It's like, in a way, it's like one of those Starbucks change or any of the fast food.
drive-thru
The drive-through
ones?
where you pay for the next
Yes.
person in front of you or behind you or however. And this is like taking that to a really different level.
Yeah.
Where you break the record and you donate a bunch to charity. So that's really cool for him. He says he ate the Southwest chicken salad more often than any other thing. He's a creature of habit.
Yeah, so we'd
is what
always
he
get
said.
that.
That's the thing that gets me is that if you were going to eat somewhere for 150 days in a row, Chick-fil-A would be a tough one because they only have chicken on the menu.
True.
So even you could only get so much variety even if you're trying different things on the menu. If you had to eat at one restaurant 150 days in a row, what would it be? Yeah.
That's a good question. Does DoorDash count as a restaurant?
No, it does not count.
Yes, it does.
It has to be one building.
You know what? The earth is a building, and we're all just a part of it. I don't know. That's a good question because part of what was nice is that the Chick-fil-A matched his donation.
Yeah.
And am I saying that I can't envision some other fast food places maybe being as generous?
I think a lot of them would because of the publicity.
Maybe.
But a few of them would
I
not.
feel like they'd throw you out.
You think?
And maybe not match the donation. So I don't know. You're right, though. Just having chicken for, what was it, one meal a day for 153 days.
It wasn't. He's not the Super Size Me Morgan Spurlock guy. He's not only
just a
eating
McDonald's?
Chick-fil-A for 153 days straight. That'd be a little different.
Wow, that'd be more money.
Yeah. Chick-fil-A is good, but I just want something where one day I could have chicken and one day I could have a burger.
I don't know. Anybody else have any ideas what would be the best place?
Yeah, because all my favorite fast food restaurants really are
Disappointing
chicken.
right now?
What? Letting us down.
I couldn't even get through the line to go get some food at some of
Really?
the other places because it's so messed up. I don't know. You'd want to pick something that would have some choices.
You're so right, though. 150 days in a row at almost any restaurant. At least you could count on Chick-fil-A. They would get it right.
Yeah.
150 days in a row.
I feel
if you're
like
doing McDonald's, Chipotle, Taco Bell, you think, wow,
Well,
they
good
have a
luck,
lot of
guys.
options. They would not. You would get the right thing about 30 days.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
I feel like you would, just some of the fast food places near us are just really not working it out right now. I would feel like you'd
I
go
think
through.
it's everywhere.
I don't know. I feel like it's everywhere, but you'd go through and you feel like it was your fault.
Well, I always feel like that.
I'm sorry
It's
I
my
ordered.
Canadian guilt.
Yeah, you're
My
like-
Canadian.
just trying to raise money.
Sorry for ordering what I ordered.
Yes. My bad. I really apologize.
I should have known better to not do that.
And thank you for not putting it in the bag so I don't have to worry about it and not putting it in.
Yeah. Thank you for not giving me a straw. Yeah. I know it's a small thing.
But I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wyatt was mentioning Arby's. That's a good choice. It's expensive, I feel like.
Yeah, that would add up.
But they got some stuff there that could be good.
That's about as good as I've heard. Wendy's is the one that comes to mind because you know that they're affordable and they do have the chicken and they've got breakfast and they've got burgers. But again, they're another one. You'd get nervous. You know, you'd get some bad eggs in there.
I would worry about
every few days.
For the breakfast, is that what you're saying?
I don't think I would choose their breakfast very often, actually.
Well, good for the guy. He was raising money and got that done at the Chick-fil-A for 153 days consecutively eating there.
He's given us a lot to think about for something that we'll never do.
Hudson sees the glass as half empty. But get this. He thinks a glass half empty is good. The Riot. RadioU.
The alien talk has died down, but leading up to, remember that like Pentagon report or whatever a couple weeks back where they made like Fox News specials out of it and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
I just felt like in the news there was a lot of alien talk.
Yep. There was a lot of speculation, and it was like, we're finally going to find out about UFOs, and then they released the report that basically said, we don't know.
And then you had people that were like saying, yeah, there are. And then others are like, no, there's not.
Yeah.
And it just seems like it would go in circles and then it died away.
A lot of mixed signals. And yeah, once that report came out and didn't have the, I guess what everybody was hoping for in one way or another was just a definitive answer of, yes, there's aliens. Mm-hmm. Since it didn't have that, it just all of a sudden went away. But now we're getting some new information from Harvard astronomers Amir Siraj and Abraham Loeb about contacting intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
Yeah, what do they say?
They say we have to remember, their theory is if we were able to even reach, some of our communication was able to reach another life form somewhere else, that we would have to wait about 3,000 years for them to respond.
Oh, to get back with us?
By the time we reach them, they may be, like our communication that we're sending now, their civilization may be long dead or...
we're long dead.
Yeah, right. More likely, just as likely, that civilization on Earth is long dead by the time we get anything back.
Well, okay, so 3,000 years it would maybe take if there was some other life form to hear back from them?
Yeah. But,
which means keep this article if someone's mad at you because you don't text right back.
Yeah, right.
It's like, this is on next level.
Yeah, well, it's, I just feel conflicting signals because they're talking about this now, and it's when just, again, weeks ago we were talking about these sightings of UFOs from the military agencies. So if they're already flying around our planet, why do we have to wait 3,000 years for them to respond when they already could just jump out of the ship? If those are actual UFOs, that doesn't take 3,000 years.
They're just saying that if we've ever tried to communicate and just send a signal out, like out there, that it could take 3,000 years to get a reply back if there's anything out there.
Whenever I see stories like this, alien talk like this, where it's like, it won't be 3,000 years till we hear from them, it makes me think this is just alien believers trying to cover their bases, because if it's 3,000 years from now, they can't be proven wrong in their lifetime. It's like, well, they're out there. It's just it takes them so long to get back.
Yeah.
So I'm not wrong in my prediction that they exist. It's just I can't be proven right because I'm dead.
This is based on a principle that asserts that we are unlikely to live at a privileged time. And so the likelihood of another planet that you could live on like Earth going on right now through an analog of our first century of radio communication, that's a privilege that we don't necessarily believe is around or true. So they say that a response expected within our time frame would be a lot to assume and could take much, much longer if you ever got one.
Is the idea saying that it's just based off, not just based off of how long it would take to send and receive based off of how far away it is, but also about the aliens being able to evolve, like civilization wise, to have the next technology to get back to us.
Basically, who are we to think that our communication would match if there was something else?
Sure, yeah. Who are we? That's what we all want to know.
Or who are they? It doesn't mean that theirs is more advanced or behind.
But what if they are?
I don't know.
If they're not more advanced, why do we even want to talk to them?
If I have to wait 3,000 years, though, I'm not counting on that.
Not interested?
No, not at all.
I guess we'll never know. We'll never get the answers.
I'm not living that long.
This is The Riot.
Radio U.
It is time.
Yay.
We've got a party in the studio.
It's a lot of people.
It's the protest is here with us. Good to have you with us, guys. Why don't you first of all go through and introduce each of yourselves?
Should we go in order by most handsome, or what do you usually do here?
Do you have the list of where or you already have that prepared?
Well, it's pretty much Jared starts, and then we just kind of fight for our position.
You go after, that's fine. Whatever
about
you guys want.
So my name is Joshua Bramlett. I'm the lead singer.
What's up? I'm Adam, and I'm the lead guitarist.
Hello.
My name is TJ, and I play guitar.
I'm Jared, and I'm the drummer.
All right.
Handsome one, yes.
Handsome
yes.
one.
He's the handsome one, but TJ, you're TJ, right?
Yes.
Does anyone tell you look like Chris Martin from Coldplay?
I have not gotten Oh that. my gosh,
I can
I've never
say
heard
that.
that.
Really? Because
That's a first.
It's uncanny, actually, to me. Maybe the hair's
I'm
a little
not-
different, but
I'm not mad about it.
He was all,
yeah,
he was all
see?
yellow.
There you go.
I was going to say, no, it's a good joke. You do look a little yellow today.
Good one, good one. Well, welcome to the protest for Radio U Ohio. They're going to be at Move the Hills tomorrow in Logan, Ohio. So we're so glad you guys got to come in today.
Very stoked,
stoked to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us.
You are very, very welcome.
So tell us first about the live show experience. It looks like you guys have been out playing a few shows already this year, so you got your feet wet a little bit. Are you back into the full touring swing of things, you think?
Yeah, we were very fortunate. Last 2020 was rough on bands, on touring musicians and ministries, but we were able to probably squeeze off about 30 shows. Most of them were outside in 2020, but this year it's been an amazing summer. We've been on the road most of the summer. It's been so good to get back out there and see our fans and our friends, and just the whole environment and the whole language of everything is just more positive this summer. So,
Yeah.
Right.
we are beyond stoked to be playing live again. That's
I
for
feel
sure.
like people really did miss having concerts, and as people move inside with concerts as well, like it's just everybody appreciates it. And for some, didn't realize that bands need the touring aspect. Like you can put out songs, you can put out music videos, but like you have to go tour. That makes the band a possible thing. So supporting the band while they do shows is still really important to get back into.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely.
So also I wanted to ask you guys about the music video for Show Up to the Showdown because we just added that to Radio UTV
You
and
can
it
watch that
is
starting today.
Yeah, it's really cool. So walk us back all the way to where that idea came from, where that was going to be like, as soon as you wrote the song, did you know this is the video, or where did that come along?
Okay, when we wrote the song, had no idea the video would take the shape that it did, but usually, like, we're all very creative guys, and we just wanted to, so we always come together, like, everybody bring your ideas, and let's just figure out how to do, like, the best idea. And we all, like, we're huge movie buffs, and, like, we love going to the movies, and we just kind of came up with, like, okay, what if, with the song, it's about just kind of going through your challenges and always showing up for your challenges and try to take them head on.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win every single one of them. So we just kind of like wanted to have a fun take on that. So we just started like, okay, what if we can just play in a movie theater or like in front of the screen or something, then just start having like all these different movie cut scenes. We wanted to spoof like certain movies, but it just kind of morphed into different things. But we just kind of like, okay, let's see, can we do this? And we had a few other ideas. We're like, okay, this is the best one. Like, can we do this? And then we just started.
Like the Western.
Exactly. Like we
The
just started.
basketball
We just like,
court.
yeah, we all like Jared, he's really into Western. He's like, it's kind of like his thing. He loves having a mustache. Like DJ, who doesn't? I know.
I know you guys all.
TJ loves basketball. I mean, he knows stats, and Josh, like they know stats like crazy. And the dance off. My wife is actually a professional dancer, and I was like, we have to like
have a dance off.
We have to dance against each other. So we just really wanted to have fun with this video, and so once the juices got going, we just like, yeah, let's do this, and let's just see if we can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think, our videos up until this point have been very serious, and we always have something to say. You know what I mean? And of course, this song also has something to say, but we wanted to do a video that just brought people some joy.
Yeah,
especially in this time where it's been crazy, and it gives us a good excuse to just be in our natural state, which is somewhat idiotic, and so
ability to flourish.
Exactly. I mean, we were right in our wheelhouse, and it was kind of a blessing because there was a lot of moving parts to this video, and we didn't have much time to plan it. So, we had to find a movie theater that was old school, that still did you know what I mean?
And still had the look.
Yeah, we had 1 week to get everything going, and our extras were just fans and friends from all over the country. And
wow,
it was such a blessing. I mean, there were people from 10 hours away that came to be in a scene that's it probably took them an hour.
Aww.
And then they drove home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was
They were glad
really,
to
really
do
cool.
it.
That's really cool that you fit it all into a week, because I was thinking watching it, I was like, man, I wonder how all those different locations and stuff, it feels like that must have taken forever.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
We were talking off, if you were on the Radio U, again, Riot Facebook page, you saw that we got talking about how, because everything is about me, and I'm going to Gatlinburg. And
well, you're excited because you haven't had a vacation in a while.
I haven't.
So you're going to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
I've never been to that area before, but you guys were saying that you've been, and there was a beauty pageant involved.
Yeah.
So, which one of you participated?
And won.
Yep, he definitely won that one. No, so there's actually a couple Gatlinburg things. It may have been that same night. So so our old bass player, great dude, his beautiful daughter, when she was really young, she was in a beauty pageant in Gatlinburg. We were on the road and we swung by and
to support.
Yeah. And what we didn't know was I think we all thought that we were just gonna watch her event. Her category. We watched every age bracket, every category.
Oh, no. It took 19 hours. That's how long it was.
Are these the type where it's the really big crowns and
there was a
really
big crowd
overdone? Yeah.
And I don't know if it was that night, but we slept in our van in the Smoky Mountains near Gatlinburg. It was a lot colder than we thought. Jared didn't have a bench seat, and he's the youngest, so he slept in that little wedge between.
Oh no!
And for some reason, we were all really afraid of Bigfoot that night, and it was kind of hard to sleep. So. Good times.
But the beauty pageant went well.
It's hard to go, I think, in and out of a beauty or any kids event.
Yeah.
You think you can just slip in and out for the one child that you want to see, but I don't think that's how it works normally.
Not in the beauty pageant world. It doesn't, Hudson.
They will shine a spotlight on you and shame you for leaving during that little girl's routine. She practiced so long for her.
Well, if you want to head over again to Radio U Riot on Facebook and YouTube, you can see the protest, the glasses. Do you guys sell them at shows? Or
we sure do.
You have pins too.
Yep.
And shirts, I'm sure, other merch.
Oh, yeah.
All that good stuff.
All the good stuff. And so then Move the Hills is tomorrow with Spoken and Disciple and the protest. And then definitely talk about your EP that comes out on the 27th.
Yeah, August 27th.
We can tell you're excited about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's more who is the most excited to
It's a classic. Who's going to answer this one?
Yeah, if we don't kind of look at them sometimes, Sarge and I will usually just kind of do all the talking. So
you got all the details.
Jared and I are definitely the quiet ones. So, no, we have an EP coming out August 27th. It's called Death Stare. We're super, super stoked about it. We put a lot of time and effort into it during the COVID break. And we're really, really stoked with how it came out. We do really feel like it's our best work yet. So,
well, we were talking with Fever earlier this morning because they're doing an EP too, and so everybody's always like, "Well, how many songs does an EP make?" Or it's all going to be on this one instead of releasing them individually. How many songs are you guys going to put?
So this will be 6 songs.
6. Okay.
6. There you go.
That seems to be the EP number.
Yeah. Any more and it becomes an album, I
It's
think.
an album with that. Well, that's cool. So Death Stare, that's the EP, is going to be out on the 27th. Do you guys have any special plans for release day or anything else in the next few weeks? Just more shows?
So the release day, we're actually playing with Saliva. Remember that band?
Yeah. Wow.
So that'll be
That's
a good.
random.
Yeah, a good little celebration.
And there's going to be, I'm not sure what time it is. I'm not sure if I can say this, but I'll go ahead and say it. There's going to be a really cool merch bundle for this EP, so we're super excited to get that out there. And yeah, I think we're just pumped to put out new music. Our song Greater is going to be on this as well, since that was kind of on its own. So yeah, super pumped.
Well, the EP again, Death Stare, will be out on the 27th. Check out the protest online for more details. Move the Hills tomorrow with Spoken and Disciple for that show. And then always show up for more of the showdown.
Yep.
Music video for the song and for the protest as well. You guys just are awesome. And we're so glad you got to come in and hang out. It was so nice to meet you guys.
Likewise.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Anytime you're in the area, for sure.
And we are honored that you guys play our stuff, and really the genre that we're in is honored by you guys. So thank you.
Thank you.
For sure.
Sweet. Oh, we love you guys.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
So there is a bandit on the loose in the UK that has been, he's now known as the Baked Bean Bandit.
What's he doing? Stealing baked beans?
Actually, no.
What else is there then?
You might think the Baked Bean Bandit, maybe they're going to a bunch of potlucks. Maybe.
What's he going for? Well, I thought he was breaking into people's houses and stealing all the cans of baked beans.
Nope, not even that. It's in fact quite the opposite. The Baked Bean Bandit is spreading baked beans all over the small town of Wonersh in Surrey in the UK.
He's pouring them on things.
Yeah,
so it's like a vandalism thing.
Yeah, this person, it could be a woman, we don't know, man or woman.
It feels like a guy. It does.
Wow, how sexist of you.
I can.
Really?
I can with this one. It
Really?
feels totally like a guy. Because I'd be like, listen, I'll say it. I'd be like, how can I put this in my pantry? I need to keep these beans. I can use these. So I feel like this is a guy who's wasting baked beans.
You just don't know. You have no idea.
I don't need to know.
It could easily be a woman.
No, but
It's all equal.
And
There's an equal chance that it's a woman.
It feels so British too, because I know baked beans are so much more popular there.
Yeah.
Where here it'd be like, is that baked beans?
Again,
I don't even have
if
those.
it wasn't at a potluck, you'd kind of be wondering.
You wouldn't even know.
But in the UK, they just have it for breakfast. And apparently, this person is dumping them on people's cars that are sitting in their driveway. And through the little, some people in their front doors, they have a mail slot.
Oh,
they're pouring it in the front door in the slot. So it's getting all over the entryway to the people's homes.
That's awful, but amazing at the same time. You feel like some animal's been sick everywhere.
And what's amazing is that I guess it's happened enough that people are actually reporting it. Because if this was me, if somebody dumped baked beans on my car, I think I'd just be, unless it kept happening over and over, I'd just be like,
you
whatever.
Wouldn't say anything.
No, you just hose it off and be on your way.
But they're
It'd be
saying,
a weird way to start the day, but
this is unacceptable behavior. And because it's mostly because it's a small village, like it's a very small town, the residents are all talking to each other and they've all realized they've had beans poured on something on their house or their cars overnight.
So if it's a small town, you just got to have one person stay up late
and find out.
And figure it out, I guess. That's the only way, right?
It's someone who's just mad. That's it.
Or who's mad at baked beans.
Well, mad at probably something to do with like they didn't get approval for something from the city or the village. And they're just mad
for
at the
their
village.
new bean restaurant.
Yeah, exactly. And so they'll show them and now they're just pouring beans. Why can't you just ask the grocery store like who's buying all the beans?
That's a good point, right? This we would be great detectives.
This doesn't seem like this would be too hard to find because the town only has like 3,000 people in it, so you could totally find out.
But if it's the UK and everybody's buying so many baked beans because they eat them for breakfast, then maybe it's not so easy to track the one person down who's buying them and using them for other purposes.
Well, no need to give people ideas here. I'm not sure if this happened in the United States. Would baked beans be the choice? But they're saying that they're still trying to
potato salad.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that'll smell, though. That'll go bad quick.
Ew, it already smells bad.
Speak for yourself. I don't mind it. If it was like a macaroni salad. But they're still trying to figure out, and they want someone to come forward with information on if your friend is the one who's doing this vandalism.
So if you know the Baked Bean Bandit, just if you're Bush, just let us know.
Oh, for the dog? From
Yeah,
the
what if it's the dog? He's tired of being in the commercials all the time.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You don't want to know someone who's hurting heavy?
Let's hear it.
His name is, yes, it is a man. His name is Tang Zhao of Chicago. He's hurting because he's facing a whole lot of prison time.
Come on, Tang.
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
120 years?
Yeah. So
What?
120 years for Tang.
Who did he kill?
He didn't kill anybody, but you could argue that he was leading to people's death in a very indirect way. What he was doing was selling. What? No, you can. Because
I guess you're right.
What he was doing was selling the CDC COVID vaccine cards. So counterfeit they might have been real cards, just not with real vaccine information that had been filled out by somebody who was administering a vaccine. So he was selling these on eBay for about $10 a pop.
Oh my gosh.
He sold around 125, and I guess you get about a year for every COVID vaccine card you sell, apparently.
Oh my gosh. On eBay? Come on,
eBay.
Tang. You know you're going to get caught doing it on eBay.
I think eBay should be held liable. How can they allow this to happen?
Like they saw that on there, and you're selling for $10 a pop?
As somebody who, my wife sells on eBay all the time, eBay will take down anything. They're not very, if they see a picture that they don't like, they're like, okay,
take it down.
That's it. And we also want to suspend your account. And that's what eBay does. So the fact that they allowed 120 cards, COVID vaccine cards, to be listed doesn't reflect so well on them and their policies.
No, not at all.
It also sure doesn't reflect well on Tang.
I wonder what he had it under. I wonder if it was under fake vaccination
code
cards.
Words? Yeah.
Or what it was under. And $10 a piece, these had to be terrible. There's no way that these would pass. If you're going to at least get a good one, it had to be at least $50.
See, I'm thinking that they could have just been photocopies. If you have a vaccine card, they aren't very hard to counterfeit. That's, I guess, one of the problems with them. They're pretty simple and straightforward, and for some reason don't fit in your credit card slot in your wallet, which would be so helpful.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not that elaborate. So, and I'm, again, looking at this story, he may have actually had access to real vaccine cards, and he just took them from, stole them from the office and took them home. And so that's where he was getting them. And so then it's just up to people to fill them in themselves.
Yeah.
To see how realistic they would be. But for $10 a pop,
you can't beat that.
That is a steal, actually.
You cannot
it's literally
beat that.
A steal. So,
I don't understand why he would make it so low, though. I would definitely be selling it for at least $50 because he's
why
risking.
Why would he make it so low? Why? Because you can get the vaccine for free.
Yeah, you're right.
But spending $10 is that's as much as anybody will pay to avoid getting the vaccine, apparently.
But for Tang, he's facing 120 years.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit aggressive.
It does feel like there are people out there who have murdered other men.
And not gotten that many years.
They're walking free. And this guy's going
He's trying to make an easy buck.
Up to 120 years. Now, you would think that they might be the kind of thing where it's served concurrently. You know, where he'll get 120 years, but he has 120 concurrent sentences, so it only is a year or something like that. But I don't know how many concurrent sentences you can serve.
If he's in prison for 120 years, that is literally insane. He's just trying to make a quick buck, you know? They're $10 a piece. It was a great deal.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
And eBay let him do it. It's not his fault, you know?
Anytime you have a news story where it's somebody that did a crime and then the crime of the punishment is way over the crime, it all of a sudden sounds like you're just defending. Come on!
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, right?
Yeah, what's the big deal about selling drugs? You think he should be locked up for 500 years for selling drugs?
Exactly. He killed one guy. 1,000 years?
Yeah, right. Why are we going to lock him up for that long?
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
They look just like the donuts we tried last week with the apple cider glaze.
But they smell so much better.
They do smell better, but they look exactly the same. Like they look exactly the same.
I think they actually look a lot drier. And I don't know if maybe there's more glaze on this one, but these look like it looks like it has a thicker glaze, but it might just be maybe they were just sitting around.
All right. So which one do you want to try first?
Do you have the list of what they are? Or is it the same as the apple? We're just replacing
I think it's the same. It's probably the exact same. We just maple.
So we have the maple glazed cake. That's the cake one. We have just the regular maple glaze, and then the one with the stripes is the maple glazed filled with maple cream. So it's a double dose of maple.
This seems to be your passion here. What do you pick? What do you want to try?
Well, let's just start with the simple maple glaze first.
The normal one?
Yeah. Okay. That'll give us a good baseline for what to expect.
Maple, here we go.
It smells immaculate.
So these are the Krispy Kreme maple glazed donuts that are out this.
Oh my goodness.
You like it?
Instantly.
You love it?
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Better than any of the apple ones we've had.
I don't know about that.
It's pretty good.
It's good.
It's a good glaze, but it's maple. All right.
Maple is glazes were made for maple.
Actually, Hudson said that. Last week we're like, how many donuts do you think you'll end up actually eating? Because we take bites out of things, but it doesn't mean we eat the whole thing.
Sure. You're very wasteful.
You might actually eat all these.
I guarantee. If that's any indication, I'm finishing that donut. And how could these other ones be any worse?
So the next one, you want to do the cake donut? We'll just go in the same order. We try the other ones. The cake ones always fool you from Krispy Kreme. We think they're a lot heavier, like denser tasting.
I mean, this one feels really
This one
heavy.
feels so heavy, just like the last one did. And the last one I thought wasn't going to be good, but it was actually okay. So I have higher expectations for this one.
It's lighter than you think.
Cake donuts aren't usually my forte.
Me either.
But when it's maple...
When it's maple, it's different.
You'll love that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How happy are you? That one's good.
That one's even better than the last.
That one's actually way better than the last
Oh,
one.
it's so good. Although that one, it's really good. It's not as mapley as the glaze one. I think the cake kind of...
That one's a thick one.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to take a drink now.
It definitely isn't dry. Like, it looks really dry, but that one is not dry at all.
It's, just say it, it's
moist.
Good.
It was very moist.
Moist, so are we...
It's a nice moist maple.
2 out of 3 for the maple glaze from Krispy Kreme that's out this week through Sunday. The last one is the cream filled.
The maple cream filled.
What if this is even better than the last one?
Is that even possible?
It is at this point, I guess. You just love maple so much.
Well, disappointment. I didn't get any of the cream.
Oh, you got to take another bite?
Bad bite.
This one's good, but honestly, it tastes the same. Like the cream one, I can't make a...
There's no, I don't even taste any maple on this one, to be honest.
It's good, though, but that cake donut might be the best.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. This is not materially different from the maple glaze. So.
Gosh, our engineer, Chris, is just like, will you just stop?
Oh, it's everywhere.
I'm spilling it everywhere. That was a bad one.
The maple glaze that's on the fingers, which will be on the board in a moment, is email worthy to say stop doing it.
We need to have wipes just
We need baby wipes in here.
He's built in what do you call it?
It's foolproof.
Outlets into the stuff. Like he's built all these different things into the desk. He needs to build a little dispenser for wipes into the desk.
I'm sure there's certain wipes we can and cannot use on the board.
Yeah.
But we'll have to find something.
Better than having maple on the board.
And having maple syrup everywhere.
I won't use that hand as I touch the board, but that was better than I thought. If you like maple, Hudson, then...
Wait. Was it better than the apple ones from last week?
I think...
I don't know about that.
Everything except the cream filled.
Everything except the cream filled?
I thought the cake was better than the apple one last week, but I really liked the apple glazed last week, so I don't know if that was better.
All right, well, now we take a break from donuts.
We're donutted it out.
Yes, especially after I finish these 3.
Now you can eat them all.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I am. What, you want me to eat hot dogs?
That's enough of that. For more Riot content, head to riot.radiou.com.